Hello, beautiful souls. I'm so glad that you could join with me here. Let us get back to business. See what messages Spirit has for us. See this one as well. So we're going to pull this one as well. I had a slow start this morning, and I think there was plenty of time to get to the point. I really like this combination here. When I do my client readings, I have a little bit of structure, but when I do these, I just kind of like to free pull three of them and see what happens. And I find that the messages for the collective come together a little bit better in that way. Let's talk about our Princess of Pentacles first. You've been paying attention to the details. You've been alert, but you're not ready to do anything about it yet. She's so sweet, and she's so kind of, in some ways, people would say that she might be quiet or shy. But people that really know her know that that's really not her nature. She's reserved in the way of she pays attention to where her energy goes. And she's looking to excel. She's looking to be really good at anything that she does. So she takes a long time of preparation, planning, observing. She takes notes. She sees the things that other people do not see. She does this because, one, she knows she's a little bit vulnerable at times. She doesn't want that to affect her outcome or her trajectory. But also, it's because she has this tendency to want to really, really do something great. And it's bigger than herself. It's not just what she personally wants for herself. And sometimes it is. But she also knows that when she excels, when she does her best, she brings people with her. She has this nature of nurturing. She likes to help others heal, to help others be their best. She likes to provide that environment for individuals. And by being cautious and aware, and I want to say uh, she has this tendency to just move very carefully because she knows again that she could be easily knocked out of the running. So her method is more to step back. How can I make this most effective? How can I pop out with a bang? Because when she makes that move, she wants to know that every single piece is in place. The footing is perfect. The landing is perfectly executed. You get the absolute biggest impact possible. Now she's got a lot to learn, and she knows that, so she's willing to kind of take her time before she dives into these things. But she's going about it in the most rock solid type of way that she can do this. So you're trying to accomplish something, but you want to be careful about it. You don't want to just throw your ideas out there because other people will snatch them up and rip them apart. Some of them will take your ideas and do something else with them. And you just know that your ideas are worthy of more than that. So there's a sense of you taking some time before you bring this out into the open. And I think that there's a good reason for that. It's got some big potential here. We're feeling this with our Three of Wands. Big potential here. Huge potential here. You see it. You're fully aware of what you can do, what you can pull out of your hat when the time is right. It's going to be the best executed trick anyone's ever seen. But right now, it's vulnerable. Your idea is not in the stage that everyone should see it yet. There is a sense of kind of being reserved about this idea because I think I'm getting that there's a lot of ideas like it going around, but not quite yours, and nobody's going to quite understand how you execute yours until you bring it out there. Sometimes you want to watch other people's ideas flounder and then not come to full fruition so you can see what didn't work, what things you want to avoid, what things you want to change for your own idea, for your own trajectory, what's going to be different for me, what can I avoid, pitfalls and things of that nature. There's a lot of potential in what it is that you're trying to accomplish. It's going to go absolutely well. There is a high degree of success here, but it is also something that is just not quite ready to be seen by just everyone yet. So we want to be aware of that. Now, the Fool card comes up. Now, the Fool has a broader spectrum of meanings because this is our beginning card, right? We start here. And while there is this sense of in some pulls of doing what feels right and having choice and like doing whatever you want to be doing and kind of the element of choice and freedom, and here I'm getting a sense of it's the potential. It's being able to look at something with a brand new mind and say, I see what you've done. I see what you're doing. That's not what I'm doing. I'm doing something different here. And I have this energy of, I'm feeling this energy of giving birth to something brand new that no one's ever seen before. There's something very unique about what you're trying to accomplish here. There's a sense of you are going to do it your own way, yeah. But it's not silly. It's not that it's not been thought out. It's that you took the opportunity to separate yourself from everything else that was going on and say, I want to do something different. I want to do it brand new. I want to feel as though this is something that I am fully creating from the ground up. And it's something that people haven't ever seen before. So there's a lot of power here with this, like planning and the idea and the nurturing of this idea and the execution of this idea being timed in a certain way. Like you can't, there's some people that I'm getting from spirit that like you keep it to yourself. This is don't post on social media about it. Don't ask a bunch of random people about it. Don't be like, oh yeah, see, I'm working. No, maybe there might be a few people that you're keeping this together with, but it also feels very much like this is your baby. And just like with a newborn, we don't go wandering out in public with that newborn and letting everybody kiss all over it. We're kind of keeping it in that cocoon stage where we're allowing it to fully develop before we bring it out to the world. Keep your plans to yourself until you're ready for people. And in fact, maybe even keep them to yourself until they've already happened. There's some people out there that don't necessarily want to see you succeed, but you've got everything that it takes to make it happen. So don't let them deter you. And in order to do that, we just need to kind of keep it under wraps. I pulled this card in my own reading today as well. Enlightenment and Dolphin Spirit, this and that are true. This is about communication with another individual who it there may not there be there's been some space between you. That was either your choice or their choice. They pulled back or you pulled back. You have one idea about why, and they have an idea about why. You don't know fully what their idea is, and they don't fully know what your idea is. You're kind of both assuming that you get it, but you don't. I'm getting some miscommunication, misunderstanding, or some deliberate mistruths. They either didn't tell you something, or they kept something from you, or it's something that they're embarrassed about. They don't want you to fully know, or there's something that you're holding back from this person. You've pulled back, and the roles can be reversed. So, um, wear the shoe if it fits. But I'm getting for a lot of you, somebody has pulled back from you because there was something they just didn't want you to know. And you had this idea in your head about why that was. You're like, this is why, of course, or whatever. Their actions, their choices have not gone well. They've turned against them. They're seeing that what they chose to do was not the best choice in this situation. So they're starting to become aware of the consequences of their choices, and they don't really feel that great about it. So you believe one thing and they believe that you know the truth, or that you would feel a certain way about the truth if you knew it. There's some kind of just, it's not what it seems for either side. It's about the refracting of water. If you think about, dolphin comes up to the surface, and then when the dolphin goes to go down below the surface, where the water breaks, if you were to be able to witness that break in the water, it might look like part of the dolphin was separated from its body because of refraction of water. You see, that separation is the issue. The separation, that disjointedness in the actual situation. You're not fully seeing it, and neither are they. But with this card coming forward, we have this energy of it's not right, and we know it's not right. And so we need to kind of step back and consider that we can't see the full perspective without having been in that person's experience. We don't know what they were seeing from their perspective unless they tell us, unless they're willing to be brave and vulnerable and come in and bring this misunderstanding to your attention so that you can then address from your perspective. And it's only with these two aligning of communication. I'm going to come here and I'm going to show you where I was, and you're going to come through here and you're going to show you where you were. And now we can bring that to the same level. When we're able to do that, and it's only through honest communication, through bringing the truth and trying to make an effort to see the other side of things through the communication. You have to be willing to be open to hearing what this other person has to say, because they saw it differently than you did, but that doesn't mean that their reality was wrong. That was what they were experiencing. That was their reality. Doesn't mean that what you saw and felt was wrong, because that was your reality in the moment. But if you come together and you share what those were, and you can do so honestly and openly, you'll discover that you both learn a lot from the experience. You might even be able to resolve it. It's the sense of enlightenment is kind of this opening of, wow, I never considered it that way. Giving you the opportunity to see another perspective that you wouldn't have seen otherwise. But you have to be open to that communication. And you have to open the lines of that communication. Now, perhaps you have and you've not gotten a response in the past. I think what we're going to find here, I'm getting from spirit that we're going to feel that communication coming through. We're going to have some signs of that individual trying to share their perspective, their side of things. It's up to you to make sure that that remains open without trying to talk over them, without trying to say, well, this is what you did to me. Allow them the space to just express themselves and what they were going through. And once you fully have given them that space and you've had some time to absorb it, then you can say, can I now present for you what it was like for me? And the combination of that openness, because you offered that first, they're going to give you that as well. And then you can say, I'm only sharing this because I want us to be able to be on the same page. Are you going to really truly be able to connect? And it's going to be kind of mind blowing. I'm getting like it's going to really shift your perspective for things. So this and that are true. What's true for you is true, and what's true for them is true. And we have to be willing to see that other perspective in order to gain for ourselves, gain that knowledge and openness and enlightenment for ourselves. So keep the lines of communication open and keep your mind open and be willing to hear those different perspectives. It's gonna help you a lot going forward. Two really beautiful cards here. Acceptance. I'm learning to accept things that I cannot change. And grateful optimism, which is a joyous view of the future. These things go together, very much so. We can't possibly lay out every detail of how things transpire. But what I found is that if we have a trajectory in mind, if we have an idea of how we want things to go, we want an outcome, we want a certain feeling to be manifested in our lives, the universe is going to put us through a series of trials and tribulations to make sure that we get there, make sure that we are prepared for it. Because if we want something, especially if we want something very big, we have to make sure that we're going to appreciate it. It's going to be something that we don't sabotage. It's very easy to manifest very small things. You can, imagine that you need a black dress for a certain occasion and you have a budget and you walk into a store and you're like, I'm going to find exactly what I need in this store. And I just know I am. And you walk into the store and you find the perfect dress and there's only one in your size and it fits perfectly and it's exactly what you wanted to pay for it. That's easy, right? There's no lessons you need to learn for that unless you struggle with gratitude and appreciation and trusting yourself. Then, well, yeah, you'd have to learn that first, but that's pretty easy. But what if what you want is the type of relationship that is powering and uplifting and supportive in all ways, and you want that power couple energy, and you want to be able to cheer for them in their uh, goals and dreams, and have the same for you, and you both want these. You want to be able to both know that you're celebrated in your work and you're successful and happy. You want something big, right? This is huge. There is a series of lessons that sometimes we need to learn in order to be prepared for that, so that we don't destroy it, because the potential could be right in front of you right now, but if you haven't become grateful and accepting of each experience, you very well may throw it away. You may say, "This isn't what I wanted," or and complain about it. Be ungrateful about the experiences that you're having. Because with all that greatness, there's going to be ups and downs, right? And you have to be able to work through all of them. It's life. We're not going to just constantly get everything wonderful handed to us nonstop. There's going to be difficulties, there's going to be off days. So, Spirit wants us to be ready and comfortable with what's happening right now. Are you happy right now? Because if you're happy right now, you could be happy with what you want at all periods of time. We have to be comfortable with the process. So even in a situation where you're like, I don't have what I want right now, I don't have that relationship. Are you happy anyway? Are you enjoying the journey? Are you loving being single right now so that you can love when you're not single? Are you loving the relationship you have? Now, if it's not meant for you, spirit will show you, and it will separate you in the ways it needs to, and all these things will transpire. And when that happens, are you grateful for that? Do you accept what's happening so that you can welcome in what it is that you desire? Because there's going to be a process of getting there. There's going to be some hard lessons to learn in that process. What is your mindset going forward? Are you able to be like, I don't have it yet, but that doesn't mean what I have now is bad. Being single is not bad. If you want that job, that is a job you have that bad. I mean, you have a job, so are there things about it that you can be happy with? Can you accept that you're learning skills at this job that will prepare you for the job that you want? Can you accept that being single allows you to love yourself in the ways that will teach you to be in control of that self esteem so that you don't rely on another person to provide it for you? Because only then are you going to be able to match that energy that you desire in that perfect relationship that you were dreaming up. So you have to be here and be like, yeah, I know where I'm at and I'm okay with this. But I also know that this is preparing me for something great. It's a mindset of, I know that there's a step by step process, and I welcome that process. I welcome the opportunity to not only be happy with where I am right now, but also know that I'm working towards a better life, the life that I desire. And it happens in stages. And if I love and appreciate every single stage in this journey, I'm going to gain something from each one. And I'm going to get better and better and better and better. And I'm going to appreciate more and more and more and more. And Spirit's going to give me more and more and more for me to appreciate. But if I'm right here, right now, and I'm just complaining about it, and I don't like it, and I don't want it, I'm missing out on so much opportunity to be better and to do better and to learn more. So, what am I going to do when I get up here and the expectations are higher for me to be appreciative and love? Nobody who is truly happy in life and feels successful and feels accomplished and feels like they have what they want complains about the steps that it took to get there. None of them. They know they would not be who they are if it wasn't for each of those steps. The steps is what helped them reach that mindset. And they had to be willing to be like, well, this is where I'm at right now. That doesn't mean that this is where I'm going to end up. So I'm going to gain everything that I can gain from right here. And I know that I'm just going to keep leveling up every single time. It's a combination of both being grateful in the present, accepting in the present, welcoming the present, and also knowing that that is what is preparing you for what's to come. And what's to come is going to be in alignment with what it is that you desire. Manifesting is a mindset game. And in some situations, we have to trick ourselves. You might not like that you are working an hourly job in retail right now. You might hate that job so much, or food service. Some of the most difficult jobs in existence are catering to other people. But can you look at your experience and go, I'm learning valuable skills here. I'm learning how to deal with people in high pressure situations with low resources, lacking management. And I'm observing these interactions and I'm seeing how this management functions and this business works. And it's an opportunity for me to grow. So I see this and I'm like, okay, because the next job you get, you might be put in a position that if you didn't have those experiences, you wouldn't know what to do with them. But because you do, you can use that skill, use that knowledge to work in your favor, which is going to make a better situation for all. And you're going to enjoy that as well. And you're going to move forward in that. So accepting where we're at, but also being very optimistic about where we're heading. It's tough, but it's a practice that's well worth the effort. Thank you so much for being with me today. I love hearing from you on your journey, and I'm so glad that we're back here in this format. And hopefully, we can go live soon. Much love.